the other side of the aisle from that state, and now with the NewsNation political contributor, our friend Denise Gitsham joins us. Always represents the California conservatives. That's your kind of.
We're a rare breed, Connell.
Life,
There's not a lot of us.
But you know, what she's saying is interesting to me, because, like I said, it's kind of like New York. You diagnose problems, and that is true. What she's saying, you know, there's a lot of people you wouldn't think that are not in the greatest position in this country, in California, New York, wherever it may be economically. The question is now, what do we do about it?
Well, first of all, we reverse the failing liberal policies in California and New York. I think, you know, well, let's just say California Democrats are to blame for the cost of living in California, full stop, period. If somebody making $120,000 on average has to survive on SNAP benefits, then you know that something is wrong with the state. California Democrats are the reason we pay 90 cents more per gallon of gas in California. And if you know, as Californians, we're not subway people, we are drivers. But the cost of housing, annual property taxes, everything is so much higher in California. And guess who's been running it with a supermajority? Democrats. So when you look at the, you know, everyone is dealing with what's happening at the federal level equally. But there's a reason Californians are suffering exponentially more than those in other states that are not hiking taxes on everything that we actually need in order to survive here. And those states are the ones that's thriving. That's why you see all these businesses like In-N-Out, which left her district, Orange County, to go to Nashville, Tennessee, because they need to find a place where they can hire and do business and thrive.
I get it. A lot of Nashville, a lot of Austin, Texas. We've had all those stories.
Dallas.
Really, post-pandemic, or you know, in the last 5 years or so, has been a lot of that. Here's another number, though, that could be a big one in California with all that's going on in D.C. 97%. What's 97%? Well, according to this group, Covered California, that's the average increase in premiums we're going to see without the tax credits on the ACA, on Obamacare. So that's what the Democrats have been pressing on, that this is the issue. So that's the thing for Republicans, right, Denise? If you don't, whatever, people just deal with their own lives. And so if their premiums are going up, you know, even if they intellectually agreed maybe with Republicans, could they still blame them for saying, you should have cut some sort of a deal and figured this out for me?
Yeah, there's a huge issue politically for Republicans as well as Democrats, honestly, because the reason we're in this pickle in the first place is, if you remember, Obamacare, we were promised, would lower a family of four's health care costs by about $2,500. And it was supposed to cut taxpayer spending by $1 trillion. Instead, implementing Obamacare health, you know, taxpayer subsidized health care for everyone, families of four are now paying $12,000 more for the same coverage, and American taxpayers now pay double to subsidize that health care. We went from $2.5 trillion in 2010 to $4.9 trillion this year.
Republicans had their shot, though, and Trump included, to come in and say, all right, well, good, we don't like this. Repeal and replace. With what? There's never been a plan.
I completely put the blame on my party for not actually standing for actual reform. Like, the very definition of insanity, we've heard this, and we know this to be true, is to keep doing the same thing over and over. You know how much premiums skyrocketed when they did these COVID-enhanced subsidies? They're going to skyrocket, what, 100, 200% in some places? You're the ones showing us these numbers. It's insane. And it was an artificial cap on an inflationary pressure that Obamacare started. And now we want to, what, accelerate it? So no, we need to address problems at their root cause. We can't just keep slapping Band-Aids on everything and saying, oh, we'll just keep shifting the blame for all of this onto other taxpayers who can afford to shoulder this problem that policymakers have implemented. We actually have to do the hard work of sitting in a room and saying, this is not sustainable. We must fix it at its core. And Republicans have been trying to do that, not consistently, as you pointed out. They have been weak because they've been giving in to political demands of their base, but they have to be the strong and responsible people in the room, because all I'm hearing from the left is to keep subsidizing. And again, the definition of insanity is to keep doing more of the same.
Denise Gitsham, she represents the right in California. She's their spokesperson. Thank you, as always. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Connell.